And the players exchanging a few friendly words prior to tip-off, the getting-to-know-you stage of the proceedings. Welcome, everyone, to the Bradley Center. We're in downtown Milwaukee, the home of the Bucks, where we'll be broadcasting today's live action. You're in for a treat as we bring you NBA basketball on 2K Sports. I'm Kevin Harlan with Steve Kerr and Clark Kellogg with Doris Berg reporting from the sidelines. Our starting lineups will look at the matchups here and who we'll see for our starting five for both teams. And one of the players we'll be seeing in this one, Michael Kid Gilchrist.
Kevin, he gets a lot of praise for the way he exerts himself on the court, the energy, the passion that he brings to the game. It's really fun to watch.
You know, it's really good to see people recognize how much effort he puts into each and every minute he's out there. He's all in all the time and never stops working.
It's a one-game reprieve at home for the Bucks. Here with their Milwaukee fans and then back on the road. Looking at their performance last year, they're about where you'd expect them to be, guys. They'd like to take that next step in a positive direction here, Steve, with a win.
This is really a good team, Kevin. I mean, not only is it a good team, but it's a fun team to watch. And it's really nice to see them put it all together. This is a fun basketball team and a really good one as well.
Well, they've grabbed a lot of people's interest lately for sure. We're hearing a lot of talk about them, and it's all for the right reasons. Between the fans, the media, they're getting plenty of attention, and they deserve it. They're a good squad.
You know, in Larry Drew's case, it was a bit of an unusual situation once the season concluded. He was in the final year of his deal. The Hawks said we'll interview other candidates and left him free to interview for other head coaching positions, and he landed in Milwaukee.
Sanders' shot is good.
They have got to put a body on it, because otherwise, with his agility and athleticism, they're not going to be able to contain him on the offensive glass.
And Walker kicks to Kid Gilchrist. Offline with his three. Well, Stephen, back to Coach Drew, of course, he ended up signing with the Bucks.
Well, that was an interesting move for him to go from Atlanta to Milwaukee. You know, the Hawks were one of the better defensive teams in the league last year. I think that's what the Bucks saw in Drew. And that's the idea for him to really help this team get the most out of its players, particularly defensively.
And it's out of bounds. The Bobcats will take it the other way. And now, just over a minute played here in the first. Takes the three. That falls. Nice feed that time from Walker. Kid Gilchrist has got his first 3 points of the game. Looking at the last game for the Charlotte Bobcats, it was a win against the Suns.
And, Kevin, I thought they put together a fantastic offensive game plan in that win. They knew exactly how to exploit the defense, and they really got on a nice roll.
And exploit them they did, see. They were relentless. They kept so much pressure on the defenders over the course of that game.
Trying to answer back, but that three is off the mark. Here's Mayo. And again, it's Milwaukee converted.
Intelligent passing there to make that hoop possible.
Charlotte's gone 2 of 4 from beyond the arc to start the game. Walker dishes to Morris. From outside, off the mark.
Boy, just by his body language, Kevin, you can tell he thought that triple was going to fall.
Yeah, a little frustrated now, shaking his head after that miss.
And here is Zeller. He had 10 points in the win against Phoenix. No one covering. 6 points for Michael Kid Gilchrist. Bucks have gotten 4 of 6 field goal attempts to drop in the first quarter. Mayo into the lane. 9 for 3. Zeller grabs the board. So the Bucks, their last game, a win against the 76ers in Philadelphia.
And one way to nullify a home court advantage, like they did that night, light it up from the three-point. Nothing is more demoralizing to a home crowd.
Steve, you're exactly right. I mean, that was the great equalizer. Their perimeter play definitely took them over the top.
Got that one up quick. Morris has got 6.
Boy, such outstanding patience and decision-making for them offensively.
Yeah, absolutely. Their ball movement has been outstanding. They are piling up the assists.
Now here's Mayo. He had a 15-point outing in their last game against the 76ers in Philadelphia.
You know what was great, too, Kevin, was the way he balanced getting his own shots and making plays for others.
Well, Brandon Knight out of Kentucky was more of a combo guard than a pure point when you look at him offensively. But with his long arms and good athleticism and at 6'3", I think there's a lot of upside for him at the defensive end of the floor. I think he's a guy that could defend one and twos effectively.
And it's the Bobcats on the break. Kid Gilchrist with the ball, and he gets it to go. Walker's got his first bucket in this one.
I'd say that fast break went according to plan.
Yeah, it sure did. A good job getting it started and a better job finishing it off.
They grabbed their own miss, and the shot is good.
You know, they've scored several times already here in the first quarter down low. I like that.
Yeah, me too, Clark. I think anytime you have success pounding the ball inside, you got to continue to go to the well.
And for Brandon Knight offensively, he's still trying to figure it out.
I think he's best as a spot-up shooter. I mean, he does have some point guard skills. He's got some athleticism, but he's really an excellent outside shooter when he's got time to set up.
Now here's Henderson following the miss by John Henson, and he gets it to go.
And they're getting their points now almost exclusively from the three-point line. That's 4 of the last 5. You got to run those guys off the line.
I agree, and the defense is practically giving them those shots, though.
And Milwaukee calls their first time out of the game. This their first chance this season playing Charlotte.
And I'll tell you what, even though they looked like the better team a year ago, they only managed a split of the season series.
Charlotte making a switch here. And now Doris Burke has an update from the sidelines.
Hey guys, I got a chance to hear what Steve Clifford was saying to his team. He said to them, the pick and roll is going to be our bread and butter today. If we run it effectively, they will not have an answer for it. Kevin, we'll see how that strategy pans out as this game develops.
And as always, Doris, thank you. Clark, if you don't make the playoffs and a team you handle all right does, I mean, that gives you a little confidence that you can be among those 8 seeds next time around.
Kevin, I think it should give you some confidence. I'm sure both teams have that as their goal, getting to the playoffs, and they've shown us some great games in the past when they've met up. This should be a lot of fun.
What a start to this game. The offense is both dominating.
Tell you what, feels like a game on the playground. Forget about defense, just keep firing. That's 2 straight quick three-pointers they've allowed.
They better not make it 3 straight, because now all of a sudden you're looking at a hot streak.
A look from Mayo. And it's wide right. It's off the rim.
Rebounding is going to be the focal point for them in this one, fellas. I can feel it.
Yeah, it's a physical game, and so far the numbers show that they've got the edge on the glass.
Bucks trail by 3. Tipped away. And here we go with Morris.
What a throwdown there. Man. Well, this is how you completely rattle an opponent's rhythm.
Yeah, you know, such terrific on-the-ball defense to trigger the transition opportunity.
And it wasn't just the tough D, it was the exclamation point they put on the fast break with the slam.
And the highlight reel replay brought to you by Kia. Good stuff on that Kia Slam Cam.
A beautiful feed by Rittenhour.
Bobcats leading by 3. And Walker kicks to Henderson. No good on the 3. And here is Rittenhour looking for his first basket still in this one. Shot by Mayo is no good. To the middle, here's McRoberts. Terrific assist, a nice finish. Solid play all around.
These guys know each other well, clearly, because that was a beautiful pass.
The basket's coming early and often in the first quarter. It's the Bobcats up by 5. And we'll get it going after this from the Bradley Center.
Coming up next Wednesday night, November 27th, Kobe Bryant and the Los Angeles Lakers take on Deron Williams and the Brooklyn Nets live from Brooklyn. Make sure to catch it.
Welcome back, everyone. We're ready to get going again as this presentation of the NBA on 2K Sports continues. Players are topped off with Gatorade, hydrated, and ready to get going again as well. And a chance for just a second to check out the scoring breakdown for Charlotte.
Well, I'll tell you what, they must have had a good shoot-around because they've been fantastic from long range so far, fellas.
Yeah, I do too, and I think they're also getting some good looks in transition, doing a nice job of running the floor.
This is how the floor looks now for the Bobcats starting the second quarter. Pairing in the backcourt, it's Walker and Henderson. Haywood is out there with Josh McRoberts. And it's Green in at the small forward.
Well, after a brief 2-year drought, the Bucks got back to the playoffs this past season, but it wasn't pretty once they got there. With several guarantees from players about upsetting the Heat, they didn't win a single game and were swept by the Miami Heat.
Here's Pachulia after the made shot from Haywood. Knocked loose. A 3-ball. That one's good, and the Bobcat lead is cut down to just 2 points in the bucket from Walters.
I like the offensive awareness to exploit that lack of coverage on that play.
Back to the Bucks in the playoffs. In every aspect, they were overmatched by the Heat, and no one really thought they would upset them, but many thought, Steve, that they would at least get a game.
Well, I wasn't one of them, Kevin. I thought they were overmatched from the start. And you could tell in that series, Miami wasn't even interested until the fourth quarter. They knew they could just flip a switch and beat this Milwaukee team. And that's exactly what they did.
No coverage that time. Now it's a 7-point Bobcat lead.
You know, one aspect of their play today that's really been tight and far superior is their passing.
Agreed. I mean, you look at the points. I mean, they're getting a lot of baskets off of assists. So the offense really clicking here. Oh, a beautiful assist. That's a couple of teammates clearly on the same page.
And Walker kicks to Henderson. Back to Walker. And Charlotte again with the bucket.
You know, he's got a quick trigger from that range when he senses that the defense has backed off.
Here's Walters, guarded by Walker. Here's Walters. He picked up 12 points in their last win against the 76ers in Philadelphia, and that one's good.
Seems like they're on their heels every time defensively because the ball continues to go into the post.
Well, if they don't pick up the aggression, things are only going to get worse.
Now, here's Walker. 11 points for him in that last game against Phoenix.
And what an extraordinary display of passing in that game, too, Kevin. He's making all the right decisions offensively.
And we're now a little over 2.5 minutes into the second quarter. Let's go to our sideline reporter, Doris Burdick. Doris, what do you have?
Gentlemen, thank you. This summer, the Charlotte Bobcats signed former 4-time All-Star Mark Price as an assistant coach with a focus on improving the team's shooting. Michael Kidd-Gilchrist had actually made the suggestion for the team to hire a shooting coach. Guys, when they drafted MKG, they talked about a building block, someone who'd help create a culture of work. A great example there. He's focused on his weakness and being proactive to address it.
You said it, Doris. Thanks. Timeout called the Bucks.
Well, he wants to get everybody on the same wavelength. That's for sure. He may change up some things here as well.
Looks to me like he saw something that wasn't on the plan and picked now as the time to address it. I don't have a problem with that.
And the Bobcats with the new group in. Markieff Morris is checked in for Haywood. Zeller comes in for Josh McRoberts. Michael Kidd-Gilchrist is checked in for Draymond Green. And Middleton subbed in for Gerald Henderson. Here's Delfino. His last outing, he had 8 points. Here's Knight. He kicks it to Sanders. Yes, and Knight with the assist that time. Sanders has got his second basket of the night.
Steve Clifford has 13 years of experience as an NBA assistant coach with stops in New York, Houston, Orlando, and Los Angeles, and now as the new coach in Charlotte. I think he's the guy that's going to do well there.
And here is Knight after the three-pointer for Moore. Shot is good, and the Charlotte lead is cut down now to just 7 on the basket from Sanders.
This is great stuff, guys. You can tell he's hurting, but he continues to play well.
Shots good by Middleton. And Clifford, the 6th head coach in the Bobcats' 10-year history, Steve.
Well, he's a defensive-minded coach, Jeff Van Gundy clone, someone who worked for Van Gundy in Houston, but has always been highly regarded around the league. I think he's going to make a good impact in Charlotte.
Here's Antetokounmpo after the made shot from Biombo, and he gets it to go. Kidd-Gilchrist has got the lead up to 10 now for Charlotte.
And another gap in the defense found right there. This is one of the worst defensive performances I have ever seen.
Walters passes to Knight. He dishes it to Biombo. Back to Knight. Three-pointer. Morris with the rebound. Bobcats leading by 10. Here's Antetokounmpo. And the Bobcats another three.
Great job from behind the arc this quarter. I mean, shooting just under 60% for the game. I mean, that's smoking.
And Walters kicks to Biombo. To the middle. Here's Sanders. Lays it up and banks it in. Sanders has got 6 in the quarter.
All the points these defenders are allowing inside is inexcusable. It's 5 baskets in a row, and they've all been practically lay-ins.
Yeah, they've got to harden and toughen up down there, guys.
So Charlotte calls timeout. They're first. Some changes for Charlotte. Green is checked in for Morris. And Josh McRoberts subbed in for Michael Kidd-Gilchrist. Into Green. Sanders with the steal. Here's Knight. And it's blocked by Antetokounmpo. And that's out of bounds. Milwaukee will retain possession. While we have a break in the action, now let's check out the league's best shooting teams. Number 1, the Bobcats.
Yeah, plain and simple, they do not take bad shots. They really share the ball. They get great player and ball movement, and that's why they shoot the percentage that they do.
We've got 1:18 left in the first half, and yes, sir, that one drops. Delfino's got 7.
Well, Delfino's a good player, Kevin. He's not somebody you think of when you think, oh, can he take over a game? But he's pretty explosive offensively. And he's a guy who, if you fall asleep on him, he's going to score. He'll find some shots from deep and also driving to the basket.
Right, from deep, and from deep on the baseline, too. You put him down in the corner, and he just doesn't miss.
Not sure why he's insisting on shooting from out there. It's just not working for him right now.
Here's Sanders. Yes, and Knight with the assist that time. Knight's got his 7th assist here tonight.
And guys, they continue to put a lot of pressure on the interior defenders with the way they work down low.
Well, it's become one of the stories of the first half, Clark, just piling up points in the paint. Question is, do they go 2 for 1 here?
Can they get a good shot in time? That's the question.
Well, he found the perfect spot behind the arc there. Big gap in the defense.
Antetokounmpo kicks to McRoberts. Hope they get it back. Again, the miss by the Bobcats. They've definitely hit that groove offensively.
They sure have, guys. I mean, really aggressive. And I like that posture and mindset. Stay aggressive.
Yeah. Steve, you like groove, don't you?
I do. I love groove, Kevin. And I love the attack mode this team is in, too. I mean, they're really getting into the paint. They're getting whatever they want offensively.
9 seconds left here in the second. Shot by Mayo is no good.
I thought he'd make that one. I mean, that's his range, and the defense nowhere to be seen. What was the defense doing there? I mean, he is not the guy to give an open look to, and yet they got away with it.
And the first half ends in a close one. Bobcats lead by 2. And time now to go courtside as we send you over to Doris Burke from the sideline. Doris?
Gentlemen, I'm here with Brandon Knight. And Brandon, how do you break down this game so far and what you guys need to do in the second half?
We're moving the ball really well right now and, really finding an open man. So, I got to congratulate my team in the first half just on, moving the ball and really playing unselfish. And but the main thing is getting stops, and it's going to come down to getting stops to win this game.
All good things to sustain for the second half, Brandon. Thank you so much. Guys, over to you.
Thanks so much, Doris, and we'll step away briefly, but get you right back in there for the start of the third quarter after this break.
And now, brought to you by Sprint.
The weekend is in full swing on a Saturday night. Glad to have you along with us. The Bobcats in a tight one against the Milwaukee Bucks. They've come out of the gates strong to start, looking to keep going. They've gotten some great minutes out of Markieff Morris. He has 11 points, and it's been bombs away from outside. Also a strong first half for Milwaukee. Wiping the glass defensively. Look, no streaks. They're preventing any second-chance opportunities. We've seen Larry Sanders having a superb game. He's got 10 points and a great field goal percentage for him as he's been making his shots count. Let's get things going with a look ahead to some games slated for later. It'll be the Heat out at American Airlines Arena against the Magic. 2 teams, 1 division. Should be a good one. A 7:30 Eastern tip time, and 1 game also on the docket. For the Knicks, they'll be up against the Wizards in our nation's capital. Tip-off is at 7 o'clock Eastern. And here's a look at the other NBA action from around the league. The Hawks playing out at Phillips Arena as they go up against the Celtics. That gets going 7:30 Eastern. And now we send you back to the Bradley Center for the start of the second half.
The Sprint Halftime Report, presented by Sprint.
Here we go now, the start of the third quarter, welcoming you back in a closely contested first half so far. What can you say? Gerald Henderson has been impressive here today.
You know, he spoils us with his performances game in and game out, and so far, just another big scoring night for him.
Typically, when he puts up that many points in the first half, he's going to follow it up with a better second half. We'll see if that happens here.
Charlotte in the lead.
You know, when you have a season that the Bobcats had last year, it's easy to look at a number of low points, but perhaps the lowest point was being down by 50 points to the Thunder in the game early in the season. And that one's hard to swallow.
All fueled up and ready to go. Let's reset the lineups courtesy of Gatorade for the second half of basketball. And Milwaukee, looking at who they've got. Up front, it's Henson and Sanders. Mayo and Delfino are the wings. And it's Knight in at the point guard. Now let's send it to Doris from the sideline.
Well, Kevin, a curious signing for the Bucks this offseason, bringing in Pachulia on a 3-year mid-level type deal. This is a team that already had a logjam in the front court with Sanders, Henson, Ilyasova, and Drew Gooden. The Bucks traded away promising forward Tobias Harris last year for what became a couple of second-round picks. They did much the same with Mbah Moute. It's all about getting the most out of your assets. Guys, we'll see how the Bucks do shuffling their pieces around.
It'll be interesting to see. Thanks, Doris. Second half rolling along now. About a minute played here. Stolen by Walker.
Great reflexes to get a hand on that pass and go the other way with it.
Lays it in off the breakaway. And it's a 9-point Charlotte lead.
Guys, they've had a solid start to the second half offensively. Gotten good looks, and they've made 3 out of 4 of them.
And as you said, Clark, to be down 50 points to any team really is a low point for a team, and could sum up the Bobcat season last year. Just too little offense and, Steve, not enough defense.
How about that combination, Kevin? Too little offense, not enough defense. I think that usually will signify a poor season.
Now a timeout called by Milwaukee.
You know, it was a rough year last season for the Bobcats, but they didn't do so bad against the East. Didn't finish with more wins than losses or anything, but with 18 wins against the rest of the conference, they weren't at the bottom in that category either.
Some changes for Charlotte. Chris Middleton comes in for Morris, and Antetokounmpo subbed in for Kemba Walker. A moment to check in with Doris Burke. Doris?
Guys, well, Larry Drew had some advice for his team over that last break. He'd like them to better establish the transition game, to pick up the tempo and put pressure on the defense in the open floor. Another part of what he said to them centered on his desire to see them shooting the ball every opportunity that presents itself. He said, fire away, guys. You've got the green light. Perhaps the rest of the second half will look different after those adjustments, Kevin.
Thanks a lot, Doris. Now Delfino after the missed 3 by Gerald Henderson. And it's sent back by Kid Gilchrist. And he gets it back. And that one's good.
That's some tenacity inside, battling for the second chance points.
Charlotte leading by 5. Antetokounmpo kicks to Zeller. Pass to Antetokounmpo. Hits the 3-point bomb. Antetokounmpo's got his second basket of the night. Well, as you said, Clark, the Bobcats with 18 wins against the East last year, not anywhere close to where they need to be. But, Steve, they did have a better winning percentage there compared to other splits.
Well, that's a bright spot, I guess, Kevin. If that's what they're hanging their hat on, though, they're in some trouble. And it's a team that has a lot of work to do to get back to the playoffs. But I guess it is good that they're in the East. That's the weaker conference by far.
Oh, good from Delfino.
Kind of rare to see him come up empty on a wide-open look.
And again it will go. Basket is good from Antetokounmpo. Antetokounmpo's got 10 points. Bucks trail by 12. Oh! Knight dishes to Sanders. No good again that time. Charlotte's gone 2 of 3 when they ventured outside the arc in the third quarter. Here's Kid Gilchrist. And a miss there on the triple.
Well, there's a reason he's open out there. The defense not really respecting his ability to make that shot.
Got that one up quick. Knight's got his third basket of the night. Bobcats leading by 10. Antetokounmpo kicks to Kid Gilchrist. It's good from long range.
Boy, they've gone on this run, and ball movement has been a big key.
Yeah, they have the defense on the run right now because every pass seems to have a purpose. They're getting great movement, great spacing, and they're really lining them up defensively.
Shot by Mayo is no good. The Bobcats have gone 7 of 10 on their field goal attempts here in the third.
Hammer time! Hammer time!
Wow, and that sort of showmanship is just deflating right now to a team trying Clark to get back into this game like this.
Yeah, definitely a jam with emphasis. A big apostrophe or exclamation point. How about maybe even a question mark?
Well, you know what the questions are about now? It's their defense, that's for sure. That mid-range jumper, just another one of his weapons.
And there's the pass to Middleton. His three-pointers off the mark.
And his mechanics are just all out of whack now. He just has no feel for his shot.
Well, his numbers certainly back that fact up. I mean, he is gone ice cold here.
Sanders, and lots of contact there. Missing the shot. He'll shoot two.
Well, the one thing that you have to have in basketball is big men who can protect the rim, and that's what Sanders does. He's willing to go up and block shots, really patrol the paint, and protect that rim area.
Yeah, you know, but there's nothing easy in the lane when Sanders is on the floor. Always have to be looking over your shoulder if you plan on putting up a shot with him around. He misses the free throw.
No slowing him down. Just incredible numbers for Sanders. 10 points and 1 steal. The motor on this guy is amazing. Completely revved up. He's been everywhere today.
He sure has, Clark. Both ends of the floor. I mean, his offense has been great, but defensively he's brought huge energy, too.
Looking at who's out there now for the Bobcats. Al Jefferson's checked in for Zeller, and Josh McRoberts subbed in for Kid Gilchrist. Good on the second free throw.
The Bucks actually made it back into the playoffs last season, but it wasn't because they were dominant at home. Only 21-20 at the Bradley Center, and those 21 wins were the fewest of any team that played in the playoffs. He's been one of their more reliable options today, guys. I mean, his shooting has led them to this lead.
Now a timeout called by Milwaukee. Well, Clark, as you said, the Bucks didn't offer a lot as far as protecting their home court. In the end, it could come back to bite them as they lost 2 in a row on their home floor and got swept out of the playoffs, Steve, by Miami.
Well, that was a pretty tough matchup for anybody, but for Milwaukee, a team that was below 500, that was near impossible. But look, it was a struggle for the Bucks. We expected that, but getting to the playoffs was an accomplishment. We'll see if they can build on that this year.
For the Bobcats, Zeller is checked in for Jefferson. Chris Middleton comes in for Gerald Henderson. And Antetokounmpo subbed in for Walker. Let's go quickly over to Doris Burke for an update.
Hey, guys, I got a chance to hear what Steve Clifford was saying to his team. He said we're missing out on second chance points. He wants them going hard to the offensive glass for the rest of this game. Those are likely not the last adjustments they make today, guys. There's still time left in this one. Back to you, Kevin.
And thank you for that, Doris. Here is Rittenauer after the made shot from Green. Delfino with the three. They get it back. Henson's shot is off.
In this quarter, he's really been off the mark. He just looks a little bit unsettled.
Shot's good from Antetokounmpo.
Well, they've played terrific basketball at both ends, and that's why this lead is totally out of control.
Really been an almost flawless game for him, Steve. No doubt about it. Well, the effort was there, but he just couldn't quite fight his way through traffic. He didn't get to that one quite in time, Kevin. Those can be tough to gauge sometimes.
Biombo, he's checked in for Sanders. .40 seconds left to play here in the third. Here's Middleton. Good on the triple. Middleton's got his second bucket tonight.
And another three-pointer to their second half total.
Yeah, they caught that long-range bug at halftime, and it's been bombs away ever since.
Now, here's Rittenauer, averaging 9 points per contest. And that's out of bounds. Milwaukee will retain possession.
He had no choice but to lunge for that pass to stop it from getting through.
Well, that was a good job. It could have been a quick bucket if he doesn't knock it out of bounds there.
Here's Rittenauer. There's Neal with the three.
Sometimes it's as simple as just being recommitted defensively. They've stepped it up here in the second half at that end of the floor.
To the right side. Delfino with the three. That's good. Delfino's got 12 points in the game. 7 seconds left in the third quarter. Shot by Zeller, no good. Well, through 3 quarters of play, down double digits, it may be difficult to overcome. Bobcats out in front, leading by 17. And coming up as soon as we return from break, the fourth quarter gets underway.
NBA action charges ahead. Stephen Curry and the Golden State Warriors take on Dirk Nowitzki and the Dallas Mavericks. Basketball. Don't miss it. Wednesday night.
And now a brief chance to view our State Farm assist of the game. It's one of 7 terrific assists on the night from Brandon Knight.
And what you love about his ability to pass the ball, Kevin, is that it just seems so natural to him, so fluid. He's always in control, understanding where his teammates are and anticipating passing angles.
On the floor for Charlotte. Henderson and MKG will fill out the wings. Markieff Morris is out there with Zeller, and it's Walker in at the 1 spot. Charlotte leading by 15. Dishes to Henderson from deep. The shot is off.
Really quite surprising to see the huge edge they have in rebounds given what the scoreboard says.
Yeah, it's not typical. I mean, they have been really dominant on the glass.
And dunk by Henson.
Boy, what a throwdown after doing a great job to corral the rebound.
Well, you know, there aren't that many players with a better nose for the ball than him.
Agreed.
And with the D always scattered after an offensive rebound, he knows exactly how to get that to work for him.
And there's Michael Kidd-Gilchrist on the assist by Walker. 17 points for Michael Kidd-Gilchrist. For Milwaukee, they've gone 2 of 3 from the field to get the fourth quarter started. Fires from the corner. Offensive rebound. Henson, and it's blocked by Zeller. Out to the right wing. Fires from deep. But they recover it. Henderson, no good. Bucks trail by 16. Master Ridnour from past the arc. And another 3 for Milwaukee.
No matter who it is, that kind of defense is not going to cut it.
Bobcats have gone 1 of 3 from the field to start the fourth quarter. Henderson, no good.
Tell you what, the defense has nothing to worry about out there with him shooting. I mean, you can't dial it in from deep this half at all.
Here's Henson. Great pass to set up the lay-in.
Boy, he's having a great half here. Exactly the opposite of the first.
Outside, Kidd-Gilchrist. The shot's good on the assist by Walker. Kidd-Gilchrist has got a pair of threes here in the fourth quarter for the Bobcats. Milwaukee's gotten the three-point bug tonight. They've taken 15 shots outside the arc. 6 of 15. Here's Henson. It's rebounded by Charlotte. Here's Walker. Shakes off the strong D and gets to the bucket for 2. And the Bobcats lead by 16.
He has great dexterity inside. He can contort his body, shift in midair, hang time, he can protect the ball and finish through contact. Just an impressive player in the paint.
And Steve, that's not a skill that most players have. I mean, that's exactly why they try to feed it to him in the paint whenever possible.
Morris, no good. The Bucks have gone 5 for 9 from the field in the final quarter so far. Mayo, the pass to Biyombo. Terrific design on the pick foot, and he lays it in.
They've got to continue to put pressure on the defense by probing inside. That's what's really working for them.
And when you're doing the job they are inside, it takes pressure off the perimeter guy.
Kidd-Gilchrist, no up. Bucks trail by 12. Here's Ridnour. Feeds it to Delfino. Henson's shot is off. Now here's Zeller. Right side, Kidd-Gilchrist. Miss again, off the mark by Charlotte. Bucks have gone 6 of 11 since the start of the fourth quarter. And Henson kicks to Mayo. Inside, here's Biyombo. Makes it off the glass. Biyombo's got 4 points in the quarter.
Another good pass, and their offensive execution has been impressive, to say the least.
The last 4 field goals have been assists. Yeah, passing has kept the defense off balance, but to get assists, you got to make the shot.
Now a timeout called by Milwaukee. Well, you have to like what we're seeing from Michael Kidd-Gilchrist.
He's dialed in from long range. They got to stay in his hip pocket and deny him the catch.
Jefferson's checked in for Charlotte. Green comes in for Morris. Let's find out what Doris Burke has for us.
Guys, well, Larry Drew had some advice for his team over that last break. He told them, no holding back. I want 100% effort out there. If you can't give it, ask for a sub. No time to rest now. Let's get after it. Kevin, he wants everything they've got.
Bucks trail by 11. The dish to Henson. And it's out of bounds to the Bucks as Milwaukee retains possession. Here's Delfino, and the official signaled the backcourt violation. Not very careful there.
Man, a real mental lapse there at a terrible time.
Well, Steve, it would have been a big gaffe anytime, but especially when you're behind.
Here's McRoberts. And some very quick points for him on that possession. And the Bobcats lead by 13. For Milwaukee, they've gone 8 of 14 from the floor here in the fourth quarter. Got a piece of it. And that'll be Milwaukee as it goes out of bounds. Bucks retain possession. .149 left in the fourth quarter. Henson dishes to Knight. Lead pass was put in just the right spot.
Beautiful ball movement at the end.
Last 5 trips, they've all ended with a great pass leading to a basket, Steve. I mean, they are really sharing the basketball.
Kept alive. And out of bounds as the Bucks gain possession. Bucks trail by 11. And the lead is down inside single digits.
Well, their plan of attack has been pretty clear to see. Get the ball inside and just take it strong to the hoop. Be dominant in the lane.
Well, the defense has been very slow to adjust. I mean, that's 10 straight points now inside.
Henson's shot is off. Bobcats leading by 9. Pass to Antetokounmpo. Jefferson kicks to Middleton. Good on the triple.
And these are the types of games where it's obvious one team clearly had the edge. Tonight, it's going to be a great win by a large margin for the Bobcats.
The sheer volume of three-pointers was the deciding factor tonight, it seems.
Yeah, they sink one, Kevin, and then they do it again. It works.
And it'll advance their win total up to 12 on the season.
Fantastic show put on. What an amazing game all around it was for Kemba Walker. He just looked like an orchestrator out there, keeping his teammates involved, running to the open spots. I mean, he would constantly find them more often than not.
Charlotte calls timeout. They lead by 10. And 1:01 left in the fourth quarter. Sanders with the steal. And up the court from the Bucks on the break. Shot by Mayo is no good. And out of bounds as the Bucks gain possession.
Well, that's inexcusable to throw a pass that far off the net.
Now a timeout called by Milwaukee. They're down by 10. 51 seconds left in the fourth quarter. .51 seconds left in the fourth. Here's Henson. That's good. The assist that time from Knight.
He has been fantastic this quarter, guys. It's just the kind of effort they need if they're going to continue to trim the lead.
No good from Antetokounmpo.
Well, one of his issues is he's a player that just does not excel at fighting through contact on his way to the rim.
And the shot is good. They got on this for a while ago, and they just haven't looked back. The Bobcats have gone only 6 of 14 from the field in the fourth, and so they choose to intentionally foul. Shot clock and game clock separated by less than 6 seconds. That one goes. Count it.
And with that basket, you'd have to think this lead is safe.
Well, if not 100% safe, certainly 95%.
Now, here is Knight. And he banks into it.
I tell you what, the defenders didn't even get a sniff of him on that move to the hoop.
The Bobcats have gone 7 of 15 from the floor here in the fourth. Right around 46-47%. And he connected the first one to drop. Tough one to miss. Does get the second one, and that makes it a 7-point lead. Timeout called the Bucks. They're behind by 7. 16 seconds left in the fourth quarter. A different look for Milwaukee. 16 seconds left in the fourth quarter. Now Pachulia. Here's Taylor. Trifecta. Seven seconds left in the fourth quarter. From deep, Green, and he gets it to go.
And that puts a cherry on top, so to speak, of what's been a phenomenal showing for them.
All over but the whining now, Steve.
And so it's Charlotte with the win. It was a solid win, Clark.
Yeah, it was, and I think it came down to will more than skill. They went out and got this one.
And a chance now to send you over to Doris Burke, standing by on the sideline. Doris?
Well, Gerald, this team seemed intent on winning and setting the pace of this game from early on. Was that a primary focus to dictate tempo?
I mean, that's a key for us to come out from the beginning. You know, we usually have pretty good first quarters. You know, our problem's been just sustaining it. So, you know, we did that tonight, and, you know, thankfully we won.
Congratulations, Gerald. Guys, over to you.
Doris, thank you. And for Steve Kerr, Clark Kellogg, and Doris Burke, and the rest of our great 2K Sports crew. This is Kevin Harlan saying thanks for joining us as Jordan presents our player of the game, Kemba Walker.